we can get.
I would like him to leave without leaving a chaos behind him. That's what I want. So if they can reach a formula which can do that, I think it will be much better.
These are the people who drive Egypt's economy, who generate much of its wealth. As long as they're not telling President Mubarak to go immediately, he will hang on for as long as he can. Jackie Rowland, Al Jazeera, Cairo.
Well, it's not just the elite who stand to lose out, but the president himself who could lose out financially. Paul Brennan has been investigating Mubarak's family fortunes.
Gamal Mubarak's exclusive London address on a street where the houses cost more than $8 million each. As one of the few known examples of the Mubarak family wealth, this property has been the focus of protesters' anger. But this impressive home is undoubtedly just a hint at the enormous wealth that the Mubarak family and their associates have accumulated over 30 years in power. As well as owning numerous prime locations in Egypt, the president is reported to have substantial properties in Manhattan, London and Beverly Hills. But his trusted political allies have also benefited. Opposition groups in Egypt accuse the ruling NDP of operating a cartel when it comes to lucrative business deals. It's alleged the most lucrative contracts are handed out to a select and exclusive group of politically connected businessmen.
You find a lot of businessmen are actually ministers in Mubarak government. Mohammed Rashid, he's a minister of trade, for example. Others also, they got prominent position in the government. So they control the governments and they control also the business sector.
For evidence of the close links between politics and business in Egypt, look no further than disgraced tycoon Hisham Talat Mustafa. His father's company, the Talat Mustafa Group, built the San Stefano Grand Plaza in Alexandria and major developments in Sharm el-Sheikh. Hisham himself became a billionaire through various construction and property deals. And until his conviction for murder in 2009, Hisham was also a leading figure in Mubarak's National Democratic Party and a member of the Shura Council, Egypt's upper legislative house. And the company's links to Mubarak's National Democratic Party remain strong. TMG's current chairman is Hisham's brother Tarek, and he also happens to be chairman of the Egyptian Parliament's Housing Committee. The development company Palm Hills is another which seems to have benefited from close political allegiance. It has seen extraordinary growth and huge profits in the last 4 years. The chief executive is Yassin Mansour, the brother of a former government minister. Another executive is related to Ahmed Al-Maghrabi, a former government tourism minister. According to the group Transparency International, Egypt ranks a lowly 98th in the world when it comes to tackling domestic public sector corruption. The boardrooms of the country's top companies certainly suggest that, in Egypt at least, it pays to be connected. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera, London.
Well, while Egypt's political turmoil is shaking the Middle East, a change of regime could give Hamas in Gaza a boost. Hamas's early origins lie with the Muslim Brotherhood, and the two groups still have very close links. Nicole Johnston reports from Gaza.
Hamas is firmly entrenched in Gaza. It's been in power here for 4 years, and it alone is in charge of the street.
Hamas is an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood. That's Egypt's banned opposition group. So it could benefit a great deal if the Muslim Brotherhood becomes a rising political force in Egypt.
I would imagine that the benefits will be putting a total end to the siege on the Gaza Strip from the Egyptian side, where Palestinian freedom of movement through Rafah will be extended.
Hamas has not come out and said that President Hosni Mubarak should step down. It's been careful not to take a position for or against him, but it is closely watching the role of the Muslim Brotherhood.
They're going to be part of the political landscape in Egypt, but I don't think they're going to be accepted as the sole dominant party that will take over the Mubarak regime.
Last week, Hamas arrested anti-Mubarak protesters in Gaza.
They put me in one of the rooms, they closed the door, just me, and they hit me in my head, in my face, and they said we didn't take decision to support this revolution from Gaza.
Then a couple of days later, Hamas changed its mind and decided it would allow people to demonstrate against Mubarak.
Now, Hamas does not want to interfere at this moment and back either side over the other, even though deep in their heart, I know they are happy for the mass protest in Egypt against the Mubarak regime.
Gaza and Egypt are linked not only by a border, but also by a party. Here, Hamas has prevailed, while in Egypt, its founder, the Muslim Brotherhood, may be waiting to do the same. Nicole Johnston, Al Jazeera, Gaza.
Let's get some other news now. The Cambodian government says heavy shelling by the Thai army has caused part of an 11th century temple to collapse. Fighting over the past 4 days has forced thousands of Thai villagers to flee the disputed border region. Hundreds of Cambodians have been evacuated. Both countries lay claim to the area surrounding the temple. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon is said to be deeply concerned about the standoff and has called for maximum restraint. A general strike in Bangladesh is paralysing much of the country. Security forces are on a heightened state of alert. Our correspondent Nicholas Hack is in the capital Dhaka.
10,000 police officers have been deployed across the country as the opposition party, the Bangladesh National Party, called for a general strike. And right now, they're shouting Hartal, Hartal, which means general strike. They want a total shutdown of the country, and this is following a night of riots. 10 buses have been burnt down, and the bomb was detonated inside Dhaka University, injuring 2 people. The opposition party are said to be unhappy about the rising food prices, as well as the stock market prices falling. Now, later on today, share market brokers are set to join the protests, and the situation here is increasingly tense.
We'll have all the sport coming up after the break with Sana, including It's Coming Home. Green Bay get their hands on North America's biggest sporting prize.
From local traders to international finance, it's commerce that makes the world go round. For global companies and developing markets, communication is the currency, and information is the most valuable commodity. Counting the cost at this time on Al Jazeera.
The Riz Khan Show, your chance to discuss the world's top news stories with global newsmakers and celebrities. Email or text us your questions. Riz Khan, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Welcome back. It's time for all the sports. Sana's here, and it's big news in the Super Bowl.
Well, it all happened while we were asleep, unfortunately. But the the Green Bay Packers have their hands on the biggest prize in North American sport. The Packers won their 4th Super Bowl title after a thrilling game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andy Richardson reports.
There's number 7, their quarterback.
2 of the sport's most storied franchises and 2 of the NFL's finest quarterbacks head-to-head for Super Bowl 45. It was Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers who started quickest. The Pittsburgh Steelers trailing by 21 points to 3 after this Greg Jennings touchdown. Rodgers would go on to throw for more than 300 yards. The Steelers stayed in touching distance, but in the fourth quarter, a third touchdown pass from Rodgers, again to Jennings, looked to have made the game safe for the Packers. The Steelers responded though, Ben Roethlisberger throwing a 25-yard touchdown pass for Mike Wallace, and the Steelers were within 3 points. But a Packers field goal and a final incomplete pass from Roethlisberger.
Ben,